Okay, so I'm doing my thing, and night before last night, we actually got pulled over by the cop because his license plate light was not on. And then what happened? It was like really interesting, so I wanted to share the story.
Apparently, I'm a human smuggler.
Yeah, so you're a smuggler.
I'm actually a snuggler, but I guess I'm a smuggler.
Yeah. So what happened was the police, I think that he's human trafficking.
No.
Mm-hmm. So he asked a lot of like questions about. First, I didn't know what was going on because he kept asking like.
Same questions over and
Yeah.
over
So
and
like.
over in a different way.
How did you get to Arizona?
I flew.
Yeah, and how long you stayed in Arizona? How long you know this guy, and what is your relationship to him?
I don't understand how you were in Arizona just one day.
Yeah. So and then he was like, he separated us to the end. He asked him to step out of the car, and then asking him questions, and then asked me questions separately, and so I didn't know what was going on. I was just like really confused. And then after he came over and asking me questions, and so when he asked me like, how did you know him? I was like, yeah, because I was doing the people team cupping right, just like this. And then I was like, oh, through this. And then he's like, what is that? And I was like, cupping. So he's like, oh, you do cupping? And then he started to laugh. And then just like, I was like, yeah. So I told him the story how I met him because, you know, he found me on YouTube, my YouTube channel. And then, so he's like, okay. And then he walked it away back to him.
First
and
of all,
then,
you asked him if he wanted to try the cupping.
Oh, yes, I asked him. I was like, you wanted to try the cupping? Because his first didn't. First, he has like he doesn't believe me kind of like feel. Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, you want to try the cupping? So I pull out the cupping out of my body and showed him the machine on the floor. And then he's like, oh, you do cupping? And I was like, yeah. And then so he laughed and then left.
Yeah.
So and then he came back shortly after that. And then we were talking about what was going on. So finally I was like, you know what? I think he was probably think that you were abusing me because all these like bruises on my chest. I have like an old bruise that's kind of like been heating it up. And so he was like thinking that he was abusing me or trafficking me or something.
Trafficking her across the country.
Yes. It was so funny, and I have to like, you know, share the story about my people team experience on the road.
Human trafficking, bibbiting.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I love my people team cupping. Well, especially when I'm driving, when we're traveling, because I can just working on me, working on him.
Just don't get stopped by a young
yeah,
cop
just don't get stopped by the
prove.
cop and then having bruise all over. They're gonna questioning you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they're perfectly round.
Yeah, they
marks.
do. I've been almost accused by abusing my kid because Josh did one right it on his forehead, and then went to school, and the principal called me into the
Didn't he fall asleep with it on?
No, he didn't fall asleep on. I fall asleep, and then he did it on himself.
Oh.
So the next morning, he has like a really perfectly round bruise on his forehead because I was treating my own forehead, my headache. And then the next morning, I took him to school, and like 2 hours later, the principal called me and says like, your kid got injured. And I was like, oh my God. And then he's like, you need to come to the school. So I canceled all my appointment and went to the school to pick him up. And then they called me into the principal's office and asked me, how did he got injured? And I was like, I thought he got injured here. And they said, no, he's injured when he was arriving school. And I was like, no, he did not injured. I dropped him off in school. He was perfectly fine. And then he's like, so they were keep asking me all these like questions right and left. And then they said, they said, well, he had a really bad bruise. And then I didn't even connect it to the cupping.
It's a normal day.
So they were asking me, well, are there anybody else is like watching him at home? Do you think they will, hurt him and stuff like that? I was like, no, my parents watch him. They were never gonna hurt him. And then so finally I was like, I need to see him. I have to see how bad he's hurt. And then they said, well, you need to answer all these questions before you can see him. And I was like, then tell me where he got injured. And then they said, we don't know what he bumped it into. He got a big giant bruise on his forehead. And I just started laughing. I was like, oh, that one. Yeah. I was like, and then, so the principal was like, why are you laughing? And I was like, that's cupping. And they was like, what is cupping? That was like only, 15 years ago. Still lots of people don't know what cupping is.
So, he was 3?
He was 3, yeah. He was in preschool, yeah. So, yeah, it was really funny.
And they probably still don't know.
I think there's still probably a lot of people don't know cupping, yeah.
They don't.
So yeah, this is my road trip story this time. So I really wanted to share with you guys. It was really funny.
It was funny after the fact. The guy was really.
It wasn't fun during because I was kind of nervous. I was like, what the heck is going on? Why he's getting him outside of the car and start to asking him all these questions?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah.
One more story. Last night, Lucia burnt me.
Oh yeah, I'm the bad guy.
No, the hotel gave me a really, really hot cup of water in a really cheap cup, and it just collapsed and burnt my arm.
And then we used the tie on it. Does that get better?
It's gotten better.
Yeah.
Still a little bit there, but it's better.
But it's much better. Yeah. So.
No more things. We only got 6 hours to go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing my people thing in the car.